We on.
Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. I told you I come with gifts. So we want to welcome everybody for another great 10th grade spotlight. And the purpose of today is for us to present you with gifts, like we said in the last segment. So today we have the pleasure of being in the presence of three outstanding educators that are helping to improve, move, and inspire the Potomac High School community. So we want everybody to sit down and just, get your popcorn out, get you something nice and warm to drink, and enjoy this experience that we're about to have. So we want to welcome everyone to the show. Welcome.
Thanks,
welcome. And the first thing we're going to do, I think, is important for our colleagues to be able to be knowledgeable of the disciplines that each of you specialize in. So could you please?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Angela Gates,
Yes.
and I teach Spanish here at Potomac High School, first and second year Spanish this year.
My name is Travis Ivey. I teach U.S. history here.
I'm Latoria Kuko, Family and Consumer Science.
Yeah, so again, we want to welcome each of you, and this spotlight is really about you, and the fact that each of you have came into the game and have drastically already helped improve the learning experience, not only for our young people, but for our colleagues as well. One thing we know is that the month of December, as well as everybody, dealing with the holidays, the month of December is a very challenging month for a lot of educators and just people in different, walks of life. But specifically to education, if you're new to teaching, if you're a brand new teacher, or if you're someone that's new to a different school, this segment is about you. And what we want to do is highlight three outstanding people that we have in our building that might help you with some skills in your toolbox to get you to come back. We don't want you to go home for the break and say, you know what, it's too much, I'm out. It's too much, I'm not going to come back in January. The first year is usually the most challenging year. However, if you surround yourself with the right people, like the three I'm in the presence of, you're more than likely to not only make it, but thrive in the field of education. So the first question I would like you to enlighten us on is, please, can you talk about some challenges you possibly could have had coming from your past and entering into the Potomac High School family?
Well, I'll start. So I had taught in PG several years ago. I
Wow.
left the county,
Okay.
moved up to Boston and was in higher ed. And then I moved back to this area and came back to the county. So I kind of have bounced around a little bit.
Right.
And one of the challenges was to remember what it is to work with high school students.
Right.
And to be able to connect with them and come down to their level.
Mhm.
So that was a little bit of a challenge, but I think that I've built a good rapport with them.
I would definitely agree.
And
Strongly agree.
And I would say, I would give that as a piece of advice to a new teacher. When you come in, try to get to know your students as much as you can.
Thank you.
For me, this kind of comes full circle for me. My background is in human resource development, so HR. My prior job was actually working at Achievement Prep, not too far from here, right across the DC line, where I hired teachers. So the retention rate between the first part of the year to the second part of the year is definitely something that I'm familiar with for people quitting over the break and stuff like that. So I definitely think this is an important thing that we're doing. So I'm appreciative of this opportunity to be able to speak on this. But for me, just even from the HR background, last year was my first year teaching in DC. But then actually starting the year off here at Potomac, the hardest thing was just keeping up with the amount of dates and stuff. As the first year teacher, you don't really know what to expect. So there are going to be a lot of things that are coming at your way. But the biggest thing for me was Dr. Lane presented me with people that I could go to. I have a support system that are pretty strong and knowledgeable and willing to help me in whatever I need. But I think most importantly, as a person, you have to make sure that you have an open mind and be ready to attack things full force. Understand that this is a new opportunity. Anytime there's something new going on, there's going to be challenges, but know that going into it, and just know that you're just not going to give up. That's the biggest thing I want to impress on a person that's enter into a situation like this, because you're not going to always have, every situation isn't perfect.
Right.
But how you approach it and your mindset will navigate how far you go in this world. So we all know as teachers, we do things with limited resources. And that's not just with our students, but that's with our own professional development, and just in our regular school day. I mean, it's a family type atmosphere here, and it makes it a lot easier to say, hey, you know what, let's put that extra work in. So I'm appreciative of the environment. But again, I just want to impress upon that you have to make sure that you're ready to do what you need to do to be successful, because you're not going to have everything there. So just come into it with a positive mindset. Know that you can make things happen. And if you're in a good atmosphere, which Potomac is, you'll beat the wave, and then you'll get into your groove, and things will become pretty easy.
Thank you.
Well, he said my part, so no, that was good. Just to piggyback on what the both of you said, so my background is high school, so the transition was pretty easy for me. What especially helped is administration having resources in place. I really, really loved the small learning communities when we first started. It's less intimidating, it's more intimate. You really get to know the people that you're assigned to work with that first week of school. I know you were the admin in my group, and you made me very comfortable. You gave me the knowledge I needed to know, and then everyone else that was in my group was very helpful. So I think that's very important for principals and administration to always have some type of smaller learning communities for new staff, and also having a new teacher academy. That's been a great resource. Ms. Okram, Ms. Stracker have been great resources in helping us get things in place, especially for someone like Mr. Ivy that is a first-time teacher, you know. So that's what I would say.
So first, special shout out to Potomac High School's family. And what you just said is right. The leadership is key, and having that support. People don't leave the field of education because of the salary. More than likely, the lack of support that a teacher receives. If you are an administrator, assistant principal, superintendent, I'm talking to you. It's very important that we make sure that we are being extremely supportive to the needs, not only to our kids, our parents, but definitely of our staff. And shout outs to Dr. Laney, who's the general here at Potomac High School. He started something new this year where he said, you know what, we're not going to do faculty meetings no more the way we used to. We're going to do something he coined the SLC, Small Learning Communities. And what that is that each assistant principal is responsible for a segment of the building. So it's our neighborhood. And we get a chance to get together as a family, and we just go over whatever's going on. So that way, together, when we walk out of that room, we know the part that we need to play in moving the work. So if you're an administrator, I would stress to you to make sure you take time to check on your people. Check on them. It don't hurt to stop by and say, forget the instruction, how are you doing? How are you feeling? How's your family? Working on the treating people like human capital. That part helps keep a cadre of staff together. The three of y'all, and this is why we're lucky. You know, their answers speak for themselves. So we're gonna slide into the next question. So what we would like to know is, what advice could we give someone that's right now sitting in a school, elementary, middle, high school, and they're deciding, am I coming back to this place in January? What advice could we give them? Or somebody that just got a promotion, and now they're in, it might no longer be an instruction, they might be an administrator or a TC. And they're on the fence because the demands of the work might be daunting for them. What advice could we give them to get them to continue?
Well, first and foremost, teaching has to be your passion.
That's it.
It has to be your passion. If it's not your passion, it's not for you. So that's the first question you need to ask yourself. What gets me, what keeps me motivated is really my students. Building those bonds, building that trust, which is extremely important, and just building relationships. That keeps me locked in the classroom. I have a great rapport with my students. I don't have discipline issues in my classroom, but it starts with that teacher-student, teacher-peer relationship. And don't be afraid to ask for help. If you see your next door neighbor or something they're doing in the classroom that's working, and You trying to figure out something in your classroom, ask for help. Lean onto administration. You don't have to struggle by yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Thank you.
I always like to harp on the A factor with the A. Part of, self-motivation and understanding your purpose. And if you know that teaching is, or education is where you want to be, I think the biggest thing is making sure that you think about that one person that motivates you to do what you need to do. In any part of your life, any adversity that you come up with, there's always that one person that you feel like you can do something for that you can't do for yourself. If you have a child, well, think about their teacher. How would you want their teacher to respond to your child? I mean, we all have a niece, nephew, somebody that's in the school system that you care about, somebody that you mentor. How do you want their interactions with their teachers to be? And if you think about that before you approach every day, and you know that teaching is your passion, even if it's not necessarily being in the classroom, if you know that education is your passion, and being able to foster relationships and mentoring young people is something that you look forward to, something that you really love to do, just think about that special person. That's something that I do every day. Think about that special person that in your life that you want to have all the resources at their disposal. You want good people in their lives to navigate them. And if you could think about that one person, I think it'll move you past any selfishness or any self things that are going on with you that are holding you back from being the best teacher that you can be.
Yeah, well, it's tough to add much there.
That's how I felt.
I would say on your break, use your break to have some downtime and really think about why you chose to be in education and where you are, because it's a good time to relax and kind of regroup and remember why you got into education in the first place. And then I would say when you come back, really try to connect with your peers. I was fortunate enough to come, I didn't come in the middle of the year, but I started after the beginning, and I was very pleasantly surprised to find that the school had a very good supportive administration and the people that I work with in my department. So try to connect with those people, and if you're a new teacher, reach out. Like you said, you don't have to feel like you're struggling by yourself. And if you're not a new teacher, also help those people that are, that may not have as much knowledge as you have, and bring what you already have to better your the school community and the environment. And then lastly, connect with the students, because you make a difference. You're not just teaching education and teaching your subject matter, but you're teaching these kids life skills, and they need that more than anything.
So I
want to add one more thing. I think self-reflection is important, even daily, but I challenge everyone over the Christmas break to just do some self-reflection. How can I be better? What can I do different? And just come back with the new and improved attitude. And set routines in your classroom. Everything should be routine. Start off strong, keep your routine, your momentum's going, your rhythm's going, and before you know it, be spring break.
I told you we came with gifts. This is the why. So I just want to thank each of you for everything that you've done. The purpose of this show is to valorize and show love for the great things that y'all do every single day. And I just strongly believe that we do not show love to all the great educators that are just within our nation. So that was the premise of this show. And I just want to personally say thank you. We are very fortunate to have each of you, our kids. It's just evident of the growth. And just know that you have our back. Just continue to be the rock stars that y'all are. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Appreciate it.
choosing us. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for your hard work.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to wish you a happy new year. We hope everybody get a lot of rest. What you said was right, especially this goes to the leadership as well. Make sure you take time for you. Because when I first became an administrator, and it was a mistake, I was Captain Potomac. I covered every game, I was at every event. I mean, I didn't do anything else but this. But then I lost myself. So it's important that you do take time to rest. You do take time to reflect. And you make sure that you are managing or reclaiming your time. Reclaim your time. Make sure you take time for you. So again, special shout outs to our all-stars. We want to wish everybody a wonderful holiday, and we look forward to seeing you in 2020. Peace.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays.